Chia, what is going on, everybody? It is yours truly, the Ace. Well, the news that a lot of us were fearing is here. Gerrit Cole needs Tommy John surgery and is expected to miss the entirety of the 2025 New York Yankees season. I know a lot of you heard already. Just wanted to pop on here, give you guys my overall thoughts. It's devastating news. Not what you want to hear as a New York Yankee fan. This is exactly what you didn't want to hear. Gerrit Cole's season is over. But that doesn't mean that the New York Yankee season is over. I see Twitter is still down right now. I don't know why Twitter's been messing up all day. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section where you guys are at right now. Let me know where on that panic button that you guys are. Would love to know. Dangleberry Sports Highlight, thank you for popping in. Jacob, thanks for popping in. Skyline, thanks for popping in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. But yeah, this is news that you didn't want to hear. A lot of us expected this though. From when the time that you initially heard that he was having some discomfort and was seeking a second opinion. The fact that you needed a second opinion easily goes to show you that that first opinion was basically saying you should have got Tommy John and got it done with. Gerrit Cole, we know last year was on the shelf for a couple of months, missed some time. Difference between last year and this year. We knew he was coming back at some point last year. This year, we know that he's out. Maybe this is what the Yankees knew initially. Maybe that's why they went out and got a guy like Max Fried. Don't know. Kind of all makes sense with the whole him opting out and opting back in. Was kind of peculiar at the time. A lot of us kind of thought, like, what was this about? But then it kind of all makes sense. But, you know, as simple as this. Our ace needs Tommy John surgery. He's going to miss the entirety of this year. Maybe a couple of months into next year. Timetable is usually around a year to 14 months. By the time he gets throwing, ramping up, maybe he'll end up missing, you know, maybe up until April, maybe May of next year. I know that I see the frustration. I understand the frustration on the faces of Yankee fans. Like, if you knew this was a possibility, why didn't the Yankees do more? Why didn't this surgery get done earlier? Why weren't there precautions taken for stuff like this? But it's like, it is what it is. He's going to have Tommy John surgery. Next man up. So we went from a potential starting rotation that was one of the best in the leagues to still one that's pretty damn solid, if you ask me. So instead of Gerrit Cole leading the way, it's going to be Max Fried as our number one, which I still think that's a pretty good damn number one. The pressure's on a guy like Carlos Rodon. Rodon is going to have to step up exponentially and be that number two guy that he's getting paid to be. Would have been a luxury to have him at 3 or 4, but we are where we are. It's unfortunate. Marcus Stroman spent the entire offseason. I'm a starting pitcher, talking the talk. He's getting the opportunity to walk the walk. And another thing with Marcus Stroman, that vesting option is definitely kicking in next year. 140 innings, kicks in that third year. He's hitting that, definitely. Definitely hitting that. NFE, what up, man? I called you. I tried to see if you want to jump on with me, man. If your StreamYard was still up, I sent you the bat signal, bro. Let me know. Text me if you're interested in jumping on. But shout out to Dangleberry Sports Highlight. Jacob's in the building, says, what up? What up, fam? He's at a casino right now. I just wanted to pop in and say what's up. Well, I hope you hit it big, man. I hope you hit it big. I hope you have some good news. Skyline says, I say we panic. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet as far as panicking with Gerrit Cole. This rotation is still solid. Max Fried is a capable ace that we thought was going to have a luxury of being a number 2, but he's a number 1. You also have a guy like Rodon who has number 1 potential, but he was our number 2 last year, maybe our number 3 this year. Guys are going to have to step up. We do have a lot of question marks, though. All right, NFE says, give him a minute. Let me go ahead and kind copy the link, and I'll go ahead and send it to you. Guys are gonna have to step up. It's as simple as that. Who's gonna have to be the biggest to step up? We'll talk about it. But make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys have not done so. If you guys are new to the channel, do your boy a favor, hit that subscribe. For, you know, your boy does Yankee Live play-by-play. I was doing the 2-year anniversary live stream today. It was a great time. I will be doing a dual Yankee stream tomorrow. I'm going to try to cover both of the games as they have a split squad tomorrow. So make sure you guys look out for that. Hit that like button. It's free. Costs you guys absolutely nothing. Hold on. I'm trying to send NFE the link real quick. But to say the least, this is devastating news. A lot of us were kind of preparing for this, but this is devastating news that you definitely don't want to wake up to. And I just got up from a nap thinking that this shit is a nightmare. Dev is in the building. What up, man? Xavier says other people have to step up. It can be done. Absolutely. By no stretch of the imagination. I do not think the Yankee season is over. Nope. I don't think the Yankee season is over by no stretch of the imagination. It's unfortunate. You're losing one of the best pitchers in the game. But it's got to be next man up, meaning Max Fried is going to have to be that number one. A big step up for Carlos Rodon. He's going to have to step up. Clark Schmidt, we're going to need him to be healthy. Marcus Stroman, you got to talk the talk, baby. I mean, you got to walk the walk, baby. You've been talking the talk. Now is your opportunity to walk the walk. And as far as that number 5 spot with Cookie Carrasco, possibly. Will Warren, possibly, who also had another good outing today, did give up a 2-run a 2-run line drive to Gleyber Torres, but it happens. But overall, I've been very impressed with guys like Will Warren. The Yankees shouldn't be in panic mode because we still have options. And then you also have the option to attack heavily the trade deadline if need be. But as of right now, I don't think the Yankees are going to be very aggressive and attack the trade deadline right now. I mean, attack the trades right now. You're probably not going to be aggressive until the deadline approaches. What up, Dev? Thanks for popping in. What's the status on Hill? This is getting messy earlier. Hill slated to miss some time. We're probably not going to see him until the J months. Probably not going to see him till June, July, to be honest with you. But that's another reason why I'm also not panicking, because this team is not going to be looking the way it's going to be looking now. The Yankees cannot afford it. And Luis Hill coming back will be a great addition to this team as well. But the Yankees are gonna have to hold down the fort until a guy like Hill comes back. And we're gonna have to hope that he can be good. But this is not good news if you're a Yankee fan. I understand those that want to panic. Me, I'm not there yet. But that's not to say that we've been dealing and had to endure a plethora of injuries in spring training. Giancarlo Stanton. We still don't know the status of Giancarlo Stanton. Luis Hill just got mentioned. We don't know the status. We do know the status of him. His is more clear. We're probably getting him back maybe June, July time. I would estimate. Pitchers have hit the shelf. Chase Hampton, our bullpen, DJ LeMahieu. Didn't expect much from him. But this spring training, to say the least, has sucked for the New York Yankees. Regular season is fast approaching. It's like about 2 weeks away. But anything can happen from now and then. You know, it sucks for Cole. Gerrit Cole is a guy that wanted to be a Yankee, that loved being a Yankee. He came out today and was basically saying, I'm going to read that in a little bit. He came out, I got to find it again. Came out, was basically saying, you know, all he wants to do is bring a championship to the New York Yankees. And you hate to see a guy like that have to go through this, but it's part of the game. Mike Wazowski, what's up, man? Says bad news. And the next pitcher must step up. It's simple as that. We need a guy we need other guys to step up. Clark Schmidt's gonna have to have a good year. We need Marcus Stroman to have a solid year. We know he's a guy that tends to tail off as the year goes on, but we're gonna need him to have a good year as well. Other guys have to step up, and then who's to say they're not aggressive when it comes to the trade deadline? Today's Seth's birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Seth. Everybody, make sure you wish Seth a happy birthday. I did say what's up to NFE. Trying to catch up in these comments. Skyline says, I'm not frustrated. It stings all the more that we lost the World Series last year. It's the bitter side of baseball. Absolutely. But it's stuff that everybody goes through. It's not just the Yankees that are going through this. It's just unfortunate that, you know, it's happening. Like, I would love 1 year Really, realistically, I would love 1 year where Yankees were completely healthy, didn't have to worry about it. We got into the regular season full strength and really see what this team could possibly do. But that's not the case. You know, you got to have better contingency plans for when these guys go down. Maybe this is a wake-up call for the New York Yankees to say, we got to start maybe going younger, maybe more dynamic, because guess what? You have two guys in Gerrit Cole and Giancarlo Stanton who are aging guys that are taking up a significant amount of payroll, and they're going to be on the shelf for an extended period of time. We don't know what's going on with Giancarlo Stanton, but signs are pointing that that's not good either. So buckle up, Yankee fans. Brace for impact. But I'm going to sit here and say, I think that this team is capable of overcoming, but we're going to need to hit. Pitching was our strength. I still think our back end of the rotation, our back end of the bullpen, I should say, is still a good strength. But we're going to have to hit. And other guys are going to have to step up. I'm just glad that we're able to have a guy like Max Fried. Could you imagine the pulse of this team right now with no Max Fried and no Luis Hill? Missing two starters and a significant player in Giancarlo Stanton hurts. But this team is going to have to step up. It's as simple as that. The young guys are going to have to step up. I like what I see from Austin Wells today. Austin Wells continues to dominate. I'm more concerned about missing Gerrit Cole than I am missing a Giancarlo Stanton as of right now. But the Yankees got work to do. And as far as the whole not wanting to go over the luxury tax, wanting to stay under, as far as I'm concerned, and obviously it's easy for me to say this because it's not my money, but as far as I'm concerned, that shit has to go out the window. It really has to go out the window. You have to do, because Gerrit Cole's already going to be a year older after missing a year. You're already, it's the old adage that I know every other Yankee content creator has spewed, but it's the same thing. You're wasting the prime of your best players. It's as simple as that. So the Yankees have to be very aggressive, but we also have to wait and see where they're at around the trade deadline. But then also the pieces to give up. What are you going to want to give up? I'm seeing Sean say time to trade for Sandy Alcantara. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I'm not against that. I'm actually for that. Former Cy Young Award winner. He is coming off an injury, but what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up for a guy like Alcantara? It's not going to be cheap. This isn't MLB The Show where you can just package a bunch of cheap prospects and the Marlins are going to be like, okay, give me that. Like, no, it's going to cost you. What are you willing to give up? Mike says, with Hill down for 3 months at least and Cole done for the season, do we make a trade for Dylan Cease? I don't think so. I don't think right away. I don't think. Let's put it like this. I don't think we see the Yankees make a pitching move. I think they're going to go with what they have internally. I don't think we're going to see the Yankees make a potential move until May-ish. Late May, early June as far as the pitching. I think they're going to wait and see. You getting back Luis Hill in June will be like that whole, oh yeah, we just acquired a guy type situation. You know, Yankees will be able to give that to us, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll see where it goes from there. And then if it's still not adequate enough, then you go ahead and you make that trade. But it's going to cost you. And the closer you get to the trade deadline, other teams are going to be interested in guys as well. So then it becomes a bidding war. Cole getting surgery scares him. I mean, it's understandable. But I'm going to tell you this. Tommy John surgery isn't as career-ending as it used to be. But I understand for those that are concerned with him age-wise, but it's not as concerning to me as it used to be. What do we do now? What would they do now is they go internally. They continue to go internally. Other guys are going to have to step up. I don't think Tiffany asked that, by the way. I don't think the Yankees are going to panic right away and try to make that trade because you're not in a position for teams to even talk about trading right now. The season hasn't even started yet. Everybody has a fresh slate. You have to see what teams drop out early. You have to see what teams are sellers, what teams are buyers. And I think closer to the deadline, we'll have more transparency. I really think around after Memorial Day is when you'll know which teams are which teams by then. But as of right now, I do think the Yankees are going to be patient and wait and see. Like, there are names that are being thrown out there, like Eric Feedy is out there. Alcantara's out there. Dylan Cease is out there. There are names. Michael King is out there. There are names that are on the trading block, but it's going to cost you, in order, especially to move them this early, it's going to cost you a significant amount of capital to be able to move those guys. Time to trade for Sandy Alcantara. I mean, we have a good rapport with, trading with The Marlins, I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't see that happening before the deadline. I really don't. I don't think Alcantara will be on the move right away. I really don't. And plus, he just came off an injury season as well. I want to see, realistically, I want to see what he's got. Because the last thing you want to do is flip a bunch of prospects and then he turns out to be injured, and then it's like, then what was the point? We end up just giving away guys. So do we get another pitcher? I think by the deadline we'll probably see one. But as of right now, you know, we got 6 pitchers going in. And it stinks. You know, it's as simple as that. I really don't think the Yankees will make another move until at least the deadline. We should also sign JD Martin. No, there was a report, Sean, earlier. I think it was, I can't look it up because Twitter is down. But there was a report earlier that said the Yankees are pretty much out on those 2 guys. They are in search of a right-handed bat, but neither of them are JD Martinez and Nolan Arenado. So we'll see what happens. Sean says again, we should trade for Arenado. I don't think that's going to happen, man. How's my arm? Man, you know what? I got 2 elbows, bro. They can have, I can give one to Gerrit Cole and one to Giancarlo Stanton. Because if there's one thing I know, Giancarlo Stanton did that damage that he did in the postseason with 2 bad elbows. Just imagine what he'll do if he only had 1 bad elbow. They could have either one of mine. I'll gladly give it up. Graham is in the building. What's up, Graham? Make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys haven't done so. Cease to me doesn't make sense is what Graham says. He will cost the farm, and he doesn't cover the time. Cole will be out. Alcantara will. I mean, we'll see. Cease is also a guy that gives you 200 innings a year, 200 strikeouts. He's a guy that's reliable. It'll cost, like you said, I agree. It will cost you the farm. Michael King's also a guy that, would the Yankees go out and get him again? Possibly, but it's also going to cost you. The Padres aren't going to give him back for cheap. Also, there was a name that was being thrown out there, Sonny Gray, the former Yankee. You know, that seems like a Cashman type move, bringing a guy that you've had before as well. You know, those are all options to the people that are like Trevor Bauer. There are Trevor Bauer fans out there that are like, go sign him for cheap. The writing is on the wall when it comes to Trevor Bauer. Nobody wants him even for the league minimum. I was watching Jason just talk about him for 161. The writing is on the wall when it comes to Bauer. So I think he's done. He's blackballed from the league, which is, you know, unfortunate for him. We have to get another pitcher, Ace. Yeah, I understand. But Tiffany, I don't think they're going to do it right now. Another pitcher will be needed, but I don't think they're going to do it right now. They're going to wait and see what happens. I totally agree that this rotation is not going to look the same when it comes to the playoffs as it will opening day. Let's put it like that. But when the trade deadline approaches, there'll be more teams that are out of it. Maybe you can hit up the Marlins. Maybe you can see the state of other teams that have a good, solid pitcher, and then maybe you can go from there. Sean says Alcantara's who he wants. I mean, hey, Stroman has to step up now. Absolutely. He's gotten the opportunity. When opportunity knocks, you have to step up. Stroman's a guy that was like, yo, I'm a starting pitcher. And to all the people that were like, we should trade Stroman. We should get rid of him. I was kind of on the fence about it. And then as of recent, the last couple of weeks, I've been all for keeping him because you could always use good pitching. And then look what happens. A guy like him is out. We know what we're going to get from Marcus Stroman. We know we're going to get a solid start. We know that you're going to get a ground ball pitcher with a much improved defense. So I do have faith that we'll have a good year from Marcus Stroman. This is opportunity. So he's got to step the fuck up. Will Warren should make the opening day roster. It's a very strong possibility that he might. We're going to see. Especially with that first week. Clark Schmidt still is yet to pitch. They're kind of already putting the pieces in place for everybody to kind of start where they're starting. I believe if Cole didn't get injured, I was hearing that Schmidt was slated to make the 6th start. The 6th game. They were going to have Cole at 1 and 5 with the day off. You keep Cole on his every 5th day rest. And Clark would have started after him. If they're still going to do that, maybe the first week of the season we see a 6-man rotation. Maybe we see Max Fried start off. Then a Carlos Rodon. Then what's up, NFE? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me finish my thought. Everybody,
That's
say
fine.
what's up to NFE. What I was saying was basically, how we were starting to hear rumblings of, Yankees are trying to put everybody in place as far as the rotation right now. Clark Schmidt still is yet to throw in the spring training. They were before the Gerrit Cole injury, they were slating for him to pitch the sixth game, which was going to allow Cole to pitch opening day, have the day off, and then make his usual fifth day start. So then from there, it was going to be Cole, Schmidt, Fried, Rodon, and then Stroman. But now that he's out for the first week of the season, I do think the Yankees will go 6-man rotation because Sean was asking Will Warren should be on the opening day roster. I do think he will be on because I think for that first week at least, we're going to see a 6-man rotation. What do you think?
I could see it now. I thought they would still go 5-man, but I think they're going to go 6-man unless they acquire or trade for another pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think they're going to have to go 6-man. I don't
at least
think
to start.
At least to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Till Luis Hill gets back, because Luis Hill is out till the middle of the season as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as of right now, yeah, I think it's 6-man. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it this morning, but till you mentioned it, yeah, I could see a 6-man rotation happening now, especially when you're down 2 starters and one of them is out for the entire season, which we all expected. I'm hoping, I'm assuming, but yeah, man, it's Yankees are in a interesting situation now. It's 2025. It's either sink or swim. I mean, it's like that every year, but now, now we get to see, them test themselves, and see if they could overcome this adversity.
Absolutely, and that's what you're going to have to do. But
Mm-hmm.
to reiterate, like I said, I think that 6-man rotation would just be to start the season because of the injuries we dealt with, like
Mm-hmm.
that first go around, and then I think they'll go back to the 5 because, like I said, Schmidt was slated to start that 6th because he still hasn't pitched yet, and they're not going to rush him back. So I can see a situation where the first week you go 6-man, then you go 5 after that. Maybe Cookie Carrasco gets the 5th-man spot. Will Warren, who still looked very good today, has put on a great performance in spring. He looked phenomenal. But the thing about it is, Will Warren has options. Carrasco doesn't. So it's like you're gonna have to, be very flexible with it, and maybe see what happens. And Will Warren, I would love nothing more than Will Warren to get started. There's a lot of pros with him, but there's also a lot of cons because he's a young guy. We don't really know what he has to offer, but so far he's looked good. I mean, he got a little hit around today, in one inning. Gleyber Torres, the former Yankee, knocked in 2 runs, but outside of that, he looked good. And I've been very impressed. But, as far as my biggest thing is this, I'm not in panic mode as of yet. And I understand fans that are, and I'm going to throw it to you with your thoughts. I think, obviously, Cole's season's done, but I think the Yankee season is far from over. I think, we have, pitching pitching was our strongest point. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a little bit weaker, but we still have a solid rotation. If you can get a good year from Carlos Rodon, and we know what Max Fried is, and you're able to ride that momentum and right the ship until you get a Luis Hill back. That's still a solid 3, man. You get a Luis Hill back fully healthy. You pair him with Clark Schmidt. You get Carlos Rodon and Max Fried. That's still a solid outing, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, it was like I was coming in kind of choppy on my end,
You're
but
good.
I
I see you
got
perfectly.
a lot of what you were saying. So you're good. Yeah, look, if like you said, if Rodon could step up this season, which you know what, I think he will. I mean, look, it's not like 2024 was a bad season for him. He went 16 and 4, or 18 and no, 16 and 8, 16 and 8, sorry. He went 16 and 8. Max Fried, you know what you're going to get out of him, right? I think he's going to be fine. Will Warren, you know what, man? This is here's an opportunity for him to prove himself after a shaky 2024 and having a nice spring training so far. Let's see what he does. It's time. We always, a lot of us fans complain how the Yankees don't give the young guys any chances, and they either DFA them or trade them. Well, here's an opportunity for a young guy to step up. Marcus Stroman, inevitably he's going to get his 140 innings.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. You could already
that is
check that
happening.
up. There's no
Yeah,
way he's not going to get at this point.
yeah. but it's time for him to come in and step up and show us fans, uh, hey man, like you all doubted me, watch me now.
But you got to talk that talk, man. I mean, if he's gonna walk that walk, he's
So
got to
this
talk. You know,
that's what I'm saying. So he has to come out there and prove himself. What's up, Norma?
what's up, Norma? And
But
thank
yeah,
you.
he has. Happy 2 year, man. That's amazing. Good stuff, man. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been an experience, man. You'll be on your 2 year next year,
December.
December. Oh, that'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be
hopefully the
December,
Yankees
man.
will be holding up a championship by then. You know, we could, this will all be under the water. But yeah, like I was saying earlier with the Gerrit Cole situation, this is a situation that sucks because it doesn't just impact this year; it also impacts next year. Like, he's probably going to miss some time, at least the first month or two of next year's season because of, Tommy John isn't as career ending as it used to be, due to medical, stuff like that and modern technology. The guys have been able to recover sooner, but you got to also take consideration he's also an older guy as well. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of getting up there in age. So this could be a situation that, we might miss him this year and maybe a month or two into next year's season. But that's stuff that the Yankees have to prepare for. I think that they kind of maybe knew that the writing was on the wall a little bit. Maybe that's why they were able to get a guy and acquire a guy like Max Fried. Maybe you get another front end starter. But as far as overall, I mean, yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. This sucks to be a Yankee fan right now with all these injuries that go on, but the season's far from over. What this move actually does for us is it kind of weakens our back end of the rotation because we had a guy like Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon. Guys were moved down in the 5-man rotation. So now, you got to slide guys up, and we got a bunch of question marks like Clark Schmidt. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to get, everybody knows my thing with Clark Schmidt is he has a hard time getting through that third time to the order. He's a big question mark. Carrasco, older guy, is being paired back up with Matt Blake, but he has a lot of question marks for an older guy. Will Warren's a complete unknown. That doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. He might be able to surprise some people, and, maybe I'm not expecting Will Warren to be Gerrit Cole. I'm not expecting him to be Max Fried, not expecting him to be Marcus Stroman. I'd like him to be Clark Schmidt of last year, step into that role. And then if you're giving us good outings out of the fifth spot, that's found money. You know what I'm saying? But it's as simple as this, man. Gerrit Cole's out. People are gonna have to step up. I'm looking at the bats to step up exponentially. We've had a good spring from a lot of players this year, and it's got to translate over to regular season.
Yeah, listen, it's as simple as this. Like I've been saying, the team's gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to step up. They don't have a choice. I don't. Warren's not. He's never been looked at as some sort of ace anyway. So at best he's probably like a number 3 guy in the rotation, number 3, number 4. So I think that he will be just that. Clark Schmidt, like you said, I know he's had a hard time getting through the order 3 times in a row. But the problem with Clark, the thing with Clark Schmidt was this, and I don't know if you saw this last season. The guy would pitch a good game, but the bats wouldn't come through for him.
That's true.
And I feel like a lot of times that does set pressure on a pitcher. When you're going out there, you're pitching a good game. The pitcher's giving you opportunities, and they're keeping you in the game. And the bat, it does create a lot of pressure for the pitcher to continue that momentum. I mean, Schmidt is not an ace pitcher. He's not a Gerrit Cole. Cole will be fine under pressure like that, but not Clark Schmidt, right? So if the bats could come through, Clark Schmidt's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He's your number 3, number 4 guy. I'm confident in Max Fried. Again, I liked what I saw from him in during that first spring training outing. I mean, I was excited to watch him pitch. Whoever sees my live streams knows that. I was like so excited. So I think he's going to be fine. I think Max Fried's going to be fine. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to like he's going to hold it down in this rotation. So I think he might be your he might be your leader in that rotation. But Gerrit Cole will probably still be there. I mean, at least with the team, just trying to guide them. Because remember, when he missed time, he was everybody's coach, and I think him being everybody's coach was a motivator. Cross is too bad. I mean, he hasn't been too bad this spring. He's pitched all right. Yeah, he's a little bit on the older side. I'm not expecting like ace type stuff, but
Yeah, of course.
I'm only expecting that right now from Max Fried. So
and Rodon. I'd like Rodon to step up into that number 2. Like we need a big year from him.
Also, Rodon has to.
Also, you're doing a great job at timing out your StreamYard issues. I see you're doing a little bit better navigating through the choppiness. Like I can hear you, even though it's freezing a little bit. So yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to like time it so I'm talking and there's no distractions.
Yeah, so StreamYard, what can we say? This stream is sponsored by StreamYard. Like they got to get their shit together. Trust me, I was mad. This is my first time on StreamYard.
They really do.
Mm-hmm. This is my first time on StreamYard in a long time. I didn't even realize they switched that intro song to the 30 seconds. So I was like, wow, I was surprised to hear that. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Aaron Jacobs, one of my mods in the chat, says, bro, the curse in New York. Yeah, the Mets are going through their shit too. So Yankees country, thank you for popping in. What's up, dude? But it's just gonna have to be something the Yankees are gonna have to overcome. It just sucks because it seems like, this happens to us every year. But maybe the Yankees decide to go a younger route. I mentioned this earlier. I want your thoughts on this. Like maybe this is a sign that the Yankees need to go younger because you have 2 guys in Giancarlo Stanton and Gerrit Cole who are getting paid a lot of money, and they're both on the shelf right now. This could be a good opportunity for the young guys to step up, but do you think this changes the Yankee way of thinking at all? Like maybe it's time to start bringing up the youth and stuff like that. What do you think?
Well, look, I'm going back to what George Steinbrenner said a year ago. He wants to utilize the farm.
Mm-hmm.
He did mention that. How many times has he mentioned he mentioned that once, and he also mentioned going under that payroll, that $300 million threshold, that Steve Cohen threshold. He's mentioned that a few times as well. So I think moving forward, yeah, I think they are going to go younger. I think they will utilize more of their young players, but it's not going to stop them from signing or trading for any experienced players that's going to help improve this team. So I think they're gonna mix it up a little bit more with having the more of the young guys plus plus your veterans, but they're gonna have to they're gonna have to reevaluate how they go sign players, especially if they're going into that when they get older. But at the end of the day, though, some of these more experienced, much better players, like if you're talking Gerrit Cole, Aaron Judge, they're going to demand long contracts. I mean, it's just going to happen.
The nature of the game. Yep.
It's the nature of the game. Yeah, I think that's inevitable as I'm thinking about it. But maybe for guys like that in the future, maybe you do include opt-outs at that point. I mean,
yeah,
just as
we had a team opt out with Gerrit Cole. He chose they went the opt-in route. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's unfortunate. But
yeah, but none of us really knew that this was going to happen, and with the extent of Cole's elbow, we know last season he missed some time and he got some PRP injections and he was healing up, but I know the Yankees medical staff has gotten a lot of heat. I think they do need to switch up that medical team. I'm not 100% confident in them, but also sometimes I do think that it's the players not being honest with their manager, with their coaches, with the medical staff. Sometimes I do think that it does fall on the players because, honestly, I'm not a professional athlete myself, but a couple of months ago I sprained my ankle. and I took a week off of training. Um, and was my ankle 100% after a week? No, it wasn't. But if I lie to my coach about, hey, I'm fine, but then next thing you know, I get hurt and now I have to require surgery and I'm going to be out longer. And I expect that coach to be upset with me, but I gotta, you gotta be honest about these injuries. I don't know if Gerrit Cole, you know, you could say hindsight's 2020. Maybe you could say Gerrit Cole should have gotten it last year, but then they had Juan Soto, so it was, I'm sure he wanted to play, and it was their best time. It was their best chance to win a World Series, especially
Yeah.
with.
And if he's frozen a little bit, he'll pop back on in a second. Yeah, there he is. Nah, I get what you're saying. I mean, it was an all-in type season, especially because you only had Juan Soto for 1 year. My thing is this: if you kind of knew this was the issue, why didn't they have at least, if, like, let's say we end the season, it would have been another blow for the Yankees, just losing the World Series, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, Gerrit Cole has to, require Tommy John surgery. At least the timetable is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, then he'd still be out for the 2025 season, but then you're good to go for 2026. You know? And it's just unfortunate, what I'm saying, that all this is happening like right before the season starts. But the Yankees are gonna have to step up and move. There are some moves to be made. I don't think the Yankees make the moves right now. I think they're gonna go in-house, and then when the trade deadline approaches, maybe kind of reevaluate and see where this team is at. But I definitely think this team is gonna look different. Look, it's not as simple as, we know how we are as Yankee fans. Go out and get Sandy Alcantara. Go out and get Dylan Cease. Go out and get Michael King. Those guys cost. Teams aren't going to just give you those guys for the low. For those three guys, you're gonna have to give up top capital. So you're looking at Roger Arias that might be out of here. You're looking at maybe a potentially Spencer Jones that might be out of here. George Lombard Jr. I think is safe. I don't think the Yankees really want to get rid of him. By the way, he just got sent down today. Like, he played his last game today. He's had so that ends his spring, which for 19 years old, I thought it was a phenomenal spring as well. But we have what we have right now. It also stinks that a guy like Chase Hampton's out, right? And he was out. He was called out really early, because this could have been an opportunity for him to get a shot up here. But it's a Will Warren shot right now, and he's gonna have to do it. But to Lou's question, are the Yankees still the favorites in the AL? I say so, but I think the margin's closed. The gap is definitely closed as of right now. I still think we're the best team in the AL because you got that guy number 99. Our pitching staff is still solid, especially with Matt Blake. He knows what he's doing with those guys. If we didn't have Max Fried, I'd have a lot more question marks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust Carlos Rodon as our number one. He was our number two last year. To what you had said. The numbers can be misleading. Usually numbers don't lie, but they're misleading at times. Rodon had a lot better year than what they say on paper last year. Realistically, he could have had a closer to 3 ERA last year, but it stinks. Same thing with Marcus Stroman. The improved infield defense will help out a guy like Marcus Stroman as opposed to last year. So those guys, I do have more faith in them going forward, and we're just going to have to see. But the team is the team as of right now. Hopefully these guys, the bats can pick up the back end guys, what I'm saying? And hopefully they can step up. And then if you got to make a move at the deadline, I hope that it's a situation where we make a move that's very close to like what we did with Jazz last year. Make it early so that way it doesn't become a bidding war at the deadline. So
Yeah,
can you hear me?
look, I don't know what the Yankee. Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just making sure I'm good to go on my end. StreamYard, you're not great right now, but thank you. Yeah, as of right now, there's 17 days left till opening day. Do the Yankees make a move now? I mean, will they go out and get another pitcher, another bat, or both? Do they make a move? I mean, it's as simple as that, right? To ask that question. It's possible. I mean, you're down 2 starters. I mean, granted, you're getting one of them back midseason. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, they haven't said anything, but I expect him to not play this season. I don't expect him back. I really don't. I don't expect him back. But the good news is, like I said this morning on my live stream, is that they have better. I already sent them an email, but they sent me some bogus try this stuff. I'm like,
Did you for real? You
yeah,
did?
oh
Okay.
yeah.
What bogus stuff they try to tell you?
Well, just your typical. Well, check this, check that, and I'm like, you know what? Y'all ain't helping.
Yeah, no, you should like check yourselves because your
Yeah,
shit
check
sucks.
yourselves. Exactly. But sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying with Giancarlo Stanton being out. The Yankees, like I was saying this morning on my live stream, the Yankees they have better options now for the DH spot. There's players that they could absolutely plug in. Where you're not having to plug in JD Davis or Jahmai Jones. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, boy, I don't want to remember, but but you got other guys that can fill in that hole, and they're better caliber players than those two guys. So what I'm saying is the DH spot, I'm not like, yeah, it sucks losing Stanton. Don't get me wrong, especially playoff Stanton, but you have other guys that can fill in that role. So, once in a while you could have us role. JC Escara, who's been impressive. He could be a guy. Ben Rice, he's another one. So
Grisham
yeah,
too. Throw him in the mix.
these guys, there's bats that can step up. Yeah, yeah, you could throw Ben Rice in the mix too. And he could back up Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt can play the DH.
Yep.
He could be a DH in one of those games. So, Yankees have options. Their options are not bad. But again, we just got to see them perform in the regular season. I mean, it's all, we talk about how good they are, good they look on paper, but what do they do and during the season?
Yeah. I'm right there with you. The DA situation. First of all, it sucks to lose a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, especially for the playoffs, because we know what he can do. But we're gonna use that DH spot the way it's meant to be. As a opportunity to give certain guys rest days. You can give a Jason Dominguez a rest day. You can give Aaron Judge a couple of days on the DH spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of having Giancarlo Stanton and how Ohtani takes up the DH spot. That's kind of where baseball is now, because certain guys can't field. Giancarlo Stanton can't play the field, so he has no choice but to clog up that DH spot. If he could play the field, there would be days where Stanton, because Yankees used to do this when he could play the field. He'd play right field, Judge would come in, play DH, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's happened a time or two. So that DH spot is very, very flexible, but we are going to need to acquire another right-handed bat. So I think trade deadline, barring anything else, which trade deadline is months away. We haven't even started the regular season yet. The Yankees' biggest needs are going to have to be either third base, still, which I've been very impressed with Yorbit Vivas. Everybody that's talking about Peraza and Cabrera could be fighting for that spot. Yorbit Vivas is throwing his hat in the ring. Like, realistically, he's hitting, and he's very hitterish. Like, I like what I see from Vivas, and the Yankees were very high on him. Could he be a guy that wins that spot? If it's a fair competition, I don't see why not. But he's also another left-handed bat. So deadline time, we might be looking to acquire another starting caliber pitcher. You know what I'm saying? Not a front end, maybe a middle of the road type guy. That's why a guy like Eric Feedy and Sonny Gray, their names are being thrown out there, because you have Rodon and you have Max Fried as your top end starters. So you solidify that middle of the rotation, then you can move guys like Clark Schmidt and Stroman back a notch, you know what I'm saying? To have them pitching, like, you can have a middle of the pack guy pitch like game 3 or game 4 in an actual series, and we'll get you above it. But right-handed bat, starting pitcher, third baseman is what the Yankees got to figure out. And we're going into this, I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. We're going into the regular season with a lot of holes, and other guys got to step up. I love what I'm seeing from Austin Wells. His offensive productivity is killing it right now. The younger guys as well, Jason Dominguez, we all hope that he could hit. Aaron Judge has to step up. He's having a little bit of a slow spring, batting under 100. He's got to step up. I hope that, come regular season, we can't afford him to slump like he did last year, where he got off to a slow April. We need him to come out on fire. But other guys are going to have to step up and carry the load.
Yeah, I mean, there's question marks, right? There's question marks going into the season. So, you know, you brought up Austin Wells, and he's led off a few times during spring training. You think the Yankees are gonna have him lead off on opening day? You think that's the direction?
That gives me Kyle Schwarber vibes. Your unconditional leadoff, like you're not typical leadoff guy, but he's leading off because he's performing well. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you go Wells, but if you're going Wells at the leadoff spot, you're definitely going Aaron Judge too. You're not going to go Wells, Cody Bellinger, and Aaron Judge. You're not going to have two lefties out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have to see. But I'm gonna tell you this: it seems to be working, and if it
Mm-hmm.
ain't broke, don't fix it. This dude took one pitch again and took it. The first pitch of the game, it took a yard.
Yeah,
So I
that's what I'm
just want the
saying.
Yankees. I want him to turn out to be him. Like, because the Yankees have always needed that one catcher, man. Like Austin Wells last year could have had Rookie of the Year if he didn't, split time with Jose Trevino. And maybe this year, now that the job is his, maybe he takes his game to a whole new level, especially in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I'm seeing them lead off Austin Wells. At first, I'm like, wait, what are they doing? I'm like, okay, they could be They could be, it's spring training. They're gonna test things out. They're gonna try things out. It's trial and error. So, Austin Wells batting leadoff. I'm like, all right. But now that he's been playing well, in that leadoff spot, I mean, what,
No pun intended.
is that who they're gonna go with on opening day roster? What was that?
No pun intended. He's been playing well.
Ha ha ha.
So, but no, I'm right there with you. I'm not against it. So, I mean, it sounds like you wouldn't be against it either. It's going to probably have to be leadoff man by committee. Why not? Saying Wells. I could see a lineup of Wells, Judge, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt to start. Jason Dominguez behind them. I'd be absolutely okay with that. Jazz behind Goldschmidt. Very balanced lineup. Have what's called Volpe behind him. Jazz and Volpe go back to back. And then realistically, dude, like I said, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Yorbit Vivas. You have him playing third, batting lefty at the bottom of that order, the number 9 spot. Like, to me, like I said, this is it. He looks very hitterish. So
Yeah. Greetings, Costa Rica. What up,
hey,
What
it's in
up,
the
man?
building.
Yo. But yeah, look, like I said, here's an opportunity for some of these young guys to step up and play and prove themselves. And for those Yankees fans that have been saying over the years that the Yankees don't utilize their farm, they don't utilize their young guys, all they do is trade them or DFA them. Well, here we are. Here's an opportunity for some of these young players, these prospects to prove themselves, to show what they can do. So, I hope, I hope it works. Again, I truly hope that it does work out for the Yankees this year. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say World Series. That's too far away. They could still make the postseason, right? I believe that they can still make the postseason. How far they get in the postseason, that's another question. But we'll focus on that hopefully later on as we get closer. But I'm in a little bit of a panic mode, but not in a oh my God, the season's over. Let's just forget about 2025 and focus on 2026.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I'm looking at their 2025 season, telling myself that they're better set up in 2025 than they were in 2023. I don't know if you would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, the lineup is a lot deeper than it was. I'm saying? It's not just Aaron Judge and a bunch of guys. Aaron Judge went down, we're kind of screwed, like, I'm saying, then. But it's like now, I trust a guy like Cody Bellinger. Paul Goldschmidt, even though he hasn't impressed that much in spring, 100%. Still went out there and had a great hitters count today. And I called it. I said, dude, You got a 3-1 count. This is a good hitter's count. You're a professional hitter. Look for your pitch. He sent that shit over the wall. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Yankees are in a, it's by no stretch of the imagination over. And if you're a Yankee fan that thinks it's over, like, and especially in the AL East, I mean, the AL in general, I disagree with you. I think this team needs to be feisty. This team needs to be making moves. And the biggest thing is how this team is constructed in the regular season and opening day should not be how they look going into the past the trade deadline and into the playoffs. It's as simple as that. If it is, that means Cashman did a shitty job. And the last 2 trade deadlines, Cashman has done a shitty job. Jazz was great, but outside of that, it wasn't like an all-in type move. But this is going to be the year that you got to go all in. If our pitching is like just okay, I still think we have a solid overall rotation, but you got to make the moves that you got to make. Add another right-handed bat. Like I said, we have 3 holes now. Right-handed bat, which, the lack of Giancarlo Stanton. We need another pitcher. Maybe one of these guys steps up and emerges as that guy, but, I think a middle of the order type pitcher. And then we got to figure out third base situation. It's as simple as that. It's like Cashman has his work cut out for him. I think he had a good offseason. I've been saying it all offseason. Hats off to Hal, kudos to Cashman. They did what they had to do because, after losing Soto, but they pivoted nicely. Now they got to pivot from these injuries, dude. Injuries happen. And I think this team is far from – the season hasn't even started yet. Anything can happen, realistically. Like, we're not the only team that's going through injuries. Other players can get banged up as well, and maybe it evens the playing field. But, we care because we're so passionate about our New York Yankees, where it's like, oh, no, the season's over, and it hasn't even started yet. I'm looking for guys to step up. I'm looking for Anthony Volpe to have a good third year. He needs to. Austin Wells is great. A full year of Jazz, along with Cody Bellinger. Now that our pitching staff isn't the strongest, isn't our strongest weapon now, the bats are going to have to step up. And I still think our back end of the rotation with Fernando Cruz, Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, I still think our back end of the bullpen is phenomenal. So get us a lead. Get us a lead going into the 7th inning, and I think our guys can lock it down.
Yeah, it's sink or swim. It's sink or swim. So, some of these guys are hurt, and next man up at this point. So before I ask this question, and I see Graham's comment there. He says you watched that one. He's like, you watch. They give the kids a shot. They don't perform, and you can be assured that Yankees fans will do the normal want Boone fire Cashman's fault. How should so? Yeah, well, you know what?
We know that.
Yeah, we already know. Well, that's always the headline is fire Boone, fire Cashman, and Hal should sell the team. So, those fans truly know how to run a business or a baseball team at that. So, yeah, they know better. But anyway, if they complain about these young players, then you know what? I don't want to hear nothing about utilize the youth or utilize your prospects. I don't want to hear about it then. But this is, for me, I look at this as an opportunity for young players. And you don't think Cashman will make a move before opening day?
Very unlikely. Because we don't know, these other teams don't know. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say this, but it's a fresh start for everybody. Everybody has an opportunity now. You know what I'm saying? So why would teams sell certain pieces when they don't even know if they're really out of it or if they're really gonna have a shot? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's anybody's ball game. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy NFE as well, man. He does a great job with Yankee content. But yeah, we don't know. Like, there are teams like the Nationals that I think are going to be surprising this year. Why would they sell if they're going to be a very feisty team? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you kind of got to wait to the deadline when you'll see who's really out of it. I'm looking for a team like the White Sox to be out of it early, the Rockies to be out of it early, the Marlins to also be out of it early, and then maybe they become sellers. But initially out the gate, if you're going, especially other teams know the Yankees are desperate right now. So you're going to have to throw a haul to get these guys. Imagine what it would take to get Sandy Alcantara or Dylan Cease. You're talking about giving up some top-end prospects. Now, a guy like Eric Fetty might not be that expensive, especially if they're trying to shed money over there in St. Louis. Sonny Gray might also not be that expensive as well. He's kind of getting up there in age. Like that might take a package of mid-tier prospects, but in order to get the top guys that people want for the top end of the bullpen, top end of the rotation, it's going to cost you. And I'm not
Yeah.
willing to give up a Spencer Jones. I'm not willing to give up a George Lombard Jr. So, or dare I say, a Jason.
Well, I
Dominguez,
think
too.
those two guys
So,
are untouchable, Spencer Jones and George Lombard Jr.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think those three guys right there are untouchables. And it's funny. Somebody brought, I was chatting with somebody in the morning today before I went live, and they brought up Sonny Gray's name. I looked at Sonny Gray's contract. I don't know that I would, and I don't know if he's worth $25 million.
You'd have to get them
as
to
of right now. I mean, especially
they'd have to get them to eat some of it. I'm not taking. I wouldn't take on that full Sonny Gray contract. But to get them to eat some of it, you're gonna have to give up somebody. So.
And it's one of those things where,
go ahead. We know what's up. It's StreamYard.
No, sorry. So I was just this freaking StreamYard, man. Is StreamYard messing up on your end by any chance?
No. Not now, no, but
so
it does do that from my end. Yeah, I mean it's like that, man. It's internet based stuff like that. You could just be going through outages in your area as well, like that are taking up speed. That could be a problem. You know what I'm saying? You might just want to check into that. But nah, StreamYard. This is my first StreamYard stream since the Aaron Boone extension because I've been switching over to OBS, but I'm trying to get rid of it too because it's not reliable. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, like I said, with the Sun, with the Cardinals, though, I mean, the problem with the teams like the Cardinals is that they want teams to take on these players' contracts, and teams aren't going to do it. Like Nolan Arenado or in this case Sonny Gray, they kind of strap themselves, but they're expecting other teams to just help them breathe a little. But it's like, nah, you guys, if you guys are looking to trade and you guys are looking to, if you guys are looking to free up some money, you guys are gonna have to eat some of that contract eat some of that money of these players. So, I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Graham says our Contra you wouldn't have to give up Spencer Jones, George Lombard Jr. All right, so play GM. Graham, what are you giving up?
Yeah, what would you give up? Because
say that again.
Well, the Marlins have to. Did they get hit with grievance?
Repeat that.
Or did the Marlins get hit with a third grievance?
I haven't. I don't know yet. But what team was it? It's the Rays that are kind of that teams are on their ass as far as to sell. I don't know if the Marlins have gotten hit with that yet, but these.
Because I think they got hit with 2 grievances. The Marlins.
Oh, I didn't know about that then.
Yeah, so I think they got hit with 2.
Okay, I didn't know about that then. But, this isn't, like I said, I always say this isn't MLB The Show. And we will be wrapping this up in like another 5 minutes. I got to go get some food and get out of here. But nah, it's not like MLB The Show where you could just, make any trade and force it to go through. It has to make sense for the other team as well. Like, could I see a guy like Peraza, which Graham says Peraza, Arias, and one arm in AA? Could that be enough? Maybe. Peraza hasn't impressed. Arias is still an unknown. A lot of Yankee fans don't want to get rid of Roderick Arias, but with George Lombard Jr. coming up, he might not have a spot. I don't know. He's still a ways away, and I don't know. Ken says no grievance on the Marlins yet.
Oh, I thought they had I thought there was at least one grievance on him. I thought there was one.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. It's possible. But, we'll see. But as of right now, I think the Yankees are going to stay pat. I don't think they're going to make any desperate moves right now, and nor should they. You shouldn't make a move that's going to jeopardize anything that's going forward because we don't even know. Like with Sandy Alcantara, he just came off an injury last year. You're willing to give up prospects to, and if he just cut out too, he just dipped out. So I think he still have an internet problem. See if he comes back. But yeah, I don't think the Yankees are in a position where I understand fans. Here he is. Can you see me?
My fault.
You good? Nah, I understand. Look, I'm just all about not panicking and not making the panic move. Like they say, you never should go grocery shopping when you're hungry. It's the same thing. You know, we're in a position right now where we're desperate, but you have to see how it plays out. You have to see what teams fall out of it. But you know, it sucks. You know what I'm saying, to lose a guy like Gerrit Cole. It sucks to lose a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, Luis Hill. But hopefully, Luis Hill comes back and we still have a solid 3-man rotation. So we'll see. Maybe the Yankees do add. And then you look to next year, if they do add a guy like Alcantara or Dylan Cease, then you look at an elite rotation next year. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not giving up on the season. I'm definitely not giving up on the season. Let's just see what happens. Things have to play out before I give up on the season.
Yeah, of course. Dude, I'm not giving up on the season until the writing's pretty much on the wall. I do think his team is still a playoff caliber team, and come playoffs, you just never know what this team is going to look like. But Brian Cashman and company can't afford to sit on their hands this trade deadline. They have to be more aggressive than what they were the last two, because you're in a position now where you're, like we say it all the time, this might be another year where you waste Aaron Judge's prime. Got to take full advantage of it. Gerrit Cole's another year. His prime is down the toilet because of this. Like I said, when it comes to Tommy John, it's not as career ending as it used to be, but he's also getting up there in age. But you got a guy like Max Fried who can take over as your ace, and you just got to fill in it from there.
Yeah, like I'm
There's no one to sign.
Like,
sign who?
there's really maybe trade. At best, I don't think there's nobody. Yeah, there's really nobody to sign. Maybe they trade for someone, but again, who do they trade for?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
look before we get out of here. I'm gonna look at the MLB free agent. I know it's not good.
Yeah,
free agents that are left for pitchers. But like I said, the Yankees have been very aggressive this year with attacking the trades. That's what you're going to have to be, because there's not a lot of good pitchers left. This wasn't a strong pitching market anyway. Like Corbin Burns, Blake Snell were the top of it, you know what I'm saying? But this wasn't a strong pitching market. See who's left. Domingo Germán. Domingo Germán's out there. I doubt the Yankees bring him back after all that shit.
Domingo Germán, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jordan Lyles is out there. Dallas Keuchel's out there. Chase Anderson's up there in age. That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot, dude. Like, it's a lot of these teams that have already gotten these players. So Patrick Corbin's out there. He's 35. It's like, yeah, it's not a lot of free agents that are out there. So I think the Yankees are just gonna have to make do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, they just roll with what they have and see how things play out, and then try to hopefully be aggressive at spring or at the trade deadline when that comes around.
Yeah, absolutely. So seems like we're lockstep in what the next move should be. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Cross your fingers, Yankee fans. Fasten your seatbelts. Brace for impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, this team, I think, has the ability to overcome adversity, and we'll see what happens from there. But hopefully it's a good season. And like I said, when it comes to the end of the season, I think this team will look a lot different than what it looks like right now. So only time will tell. But look, man, we're gonna go ahead and head out of here, man. I do appreciate you for popping in. I know I kind of threw the bat signal out there to you. Norma says, "Can we get Holmes back?" No, I'm good. I'm fine. We don't need those problems over here, Norma. I'm good. He can keep that over there. He's probably their starting their opening day ace over there in Shitty Field. So let that stay over there. But NFE, my guy, I do appreciate you for popping in. I'm gonna drop your link one more time, so everybody go subscribe to my guy NFE from the Strike Zone. Does a great pregame. He's gonna start doing more live streams this year as well. So make sure you guys go over there, give that man a sub. He is on the road to 2K. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Appreciate it, Ed. Congratulations again, Ace, to your 2-year anniversary. And you're right there, man. You're right there to that 2K. You're almost there.
Yeah, trying to get there. Would like to get there before the end of the first month of the season. A little bit unrealistic to try to get there before the like I said, I didn't do as much Yankee coverage as I could have done this offseason, but gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Baby steps. Take it one step at a time. I'm just glad that this community is strong, and I appreciate everybody that's involved with it. People like you, NFE, that constantly come on here and support me. You know what I'm saying? I do wholeheartedly appreciate all of you guys, man, from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys are the best.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah. Happy to you. Absolutely.
But appreciate you guys, man. We're going to go ahead and head out of here. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe to both channels, and hit that notification button. So whenever I'm live or my guy NFE is live, you guys will be notified. Have a good rest of your Monday. I'll see you guys soon. Oh, I'm going to be covering the game tomorrow. I think I'm covering both games tomorrow, bro. I think I'm going to try to do, because it's a split squad, I think I'm going to try to do 2 in 1 and see how that goes.
I might, for that first game, I'll talk to you, but maybe I could jump on.
No, they're both at the same time.
Oh,
they're both at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm talking about doing them both at the same time, like having 2 scoreboards up there.
And they got Paul Skeens pitching tomorrow too. For
they got
Pirates.
Paul Skeens, so I might try to give that a go and see how that goes. But that should be fun. So, but look, guys, we're gonna go ahead and head out of here. Appreciate all of you guys. Have a good rest of your night. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace, with my guy NFE from the Strike Zone. Adios.
Peace.